So I have a question for you. How much do the words you like reveal about who you are as a person? Now, I'm a big fan of words and language, and I think most people underestimate just how powerful they are. Like, I know we all say words are powerful, but let me give you an example. Hypothetically, if animals could speak, would it be reasonable to assume that we would stop eating them? Just think about that. Like, you're about to cut off the head of a chicken, and it's like, bro, please, I have a family. Just something to think about. But I love how certain words sound. I think we all have these words that we've loved hearing. I think of words like superfluous and gargantuan. The way they're spelled, even like a word like labyrinth. Right after that B, that's where all the action is. Ether. Sometimes it's spelled with an E, sometimes an A. Like, well, why is the A there? I don't know, but it looks cool. And this is just English. Let's not even get into French and Italian.
Nom de Dieu, de putain de bordel de merde de saloperie de connard d'enculé de ta mère. It's like wiping your ass with silk. I love it.
So, a few months ago, I was meddling in ChatGPT, and I came up with this prompt. Ozzy. I named my ChatGPT Ozymandias. Don't ask.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
I would like to try an experiment. I'm going to write all of my favorite words in alphabetical order from A to Z. These are words straight from my memory. I'm not looking them up on my phone or from any other sources, just what's in my brain. For clarity, these are my favorite words or words that I am most drawn to / fascinated by / just think are powerful, again, from A to Z. So there should be 26 in total. Then I give it some follow-up instructions. Number 1, extrapolate things about my personality. Number 2, suggest short stories, books, movies, artwork I would like. And 3, provide references. And then I pressed enter. And brother, he entered. So these are my words. We have abysmal, boisterous, cadaver, duplicitous, euphemism, foe, garden, hydrogen, imperator. That's how they say it in Mad Max. Imperator Furiosa. Joust, kill, lumbar, magnetism, Nile, opium, Pulitzer, quandary, Rome, sin, tempest, ultraviolet, wax, xenon, yield, and zero. Let me read this response to you, yo. This was bananas. I'll do it in a British accent, so that's when you know I'm reading the ChatGPT stuff.
My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Overarching themes across the full list. Number 1, death in the body. Cadaver, kill, lumbar, abysmal, sin, wax. You're comfortable confronting the body, alive or dead, without flinching. Themes of mortality, anatomy, and consequence are prominent. Very accurate. A friend of mine has always said that I was a pretty morbid person, but I chalk that up to, it's just a result of working as a registered nurse. Throughout my career, I've seen the full scale of decay and just frailty of the human body. And you just realize we're all heading that way. It's very unnerving to see someone laying down, but not see their chest rising and falling. Number 2, deception and duality, duplicitous, euphemism, foe, quandary, sin, suggests deep interest in moral ambiguity, mask wearing, manipulation, and internal conflict. Again, nail on the head. Human beings, man, we're literally just all these chemicals, just smorgasbord of chemicals just roll up into one being. There's billions of us on this rock. We're spinning in space, hurtling through, the vacuum of space, and we're just doing all of the things. So to have something as binary as the concept of good versus evil or right versus wrong, and how people interpret that across the globe, super fascinating to me. Why is the enemy of your enemy not your enemy? Why is it your friend? Why is one terrorist another person's freedom fighter? Why is the news telling us two different things? Like, who's being objective? Forget the news. How much of your feed is real?
What is real?
I think of this famous quote, "Give a man a mask and he will show you his true face." That's Oscar Wilde and the picture of Dorian Gray, but Yeah, again, accurate. Number 3, power structures and glory. Imperator, joust, Pulitzer, Rome, voltage. You're intrigued by legacy, titles, battle, and reward, but not necessarily from a hero worship angle. Very key. Possibly ironic and deconstructive. Again, that nuance of the hero worship thing, that was so on point. Because for me, it's not really about the hero. Like, you know, Game of Thrones, the original series. Do you know who I was rooting for? Stannis Baratheon. You remember that guy? You know, he was he made some mistakes. He burned his daughter alive. We don't have to talk about that. But he went out like a G. You know, he's about that life. He had the birthright. He just made some mistakes. You know, small mistake. Julius Caesar, Sherlock Holmes, Logan, you know, or Wolverine from X-Men, Alfred Borden from The Prestige. These are all these anti-hero, very tragically written, but powerful characters that I just kind of gravitate toward. And they usually have some sort of arch nemesis, you know. So again, 10 out of 10 as far as the analysis. Number 4, nature and elemental forces. God and hydrogen, magnetism, Nile, ultraviolet, and xenon. Is it xenon or xenon? There's a thread of fascination with natural elements, mysticism in science, and beauty in the invisible. Nature, bro. Just think of nature. Let's think of a tree. Just think of a tree, okay? And this came to me, there's this Bible verse, and he will be like a tree planted by the river of water. You think of a tree. It's hot outside today, and today I was walking out, and I just walked under this tree, and the immediate shade from just being underneath it, it's like, oh wow, oh yeah, this is how people that didn't have technology used to stay cool. You can build a whole house with wood from a tree. You make fire with it. You eat the fruit that comes off of it. It grows big enough to climb. People have the entire lineage of our human civilization existence has been transcribed on paper, papyrus, which comes from trees. You know, all the things we read, books, magazines. It's like, you want to talk about aura forming? Next time you're outside, go hug a tree. Then you have science, dude, like, there's no reason I should know what my DNA looks like. We all know what our DNA looks like, right? It's the helix. A DNA strand is 20,000 times smaller than a strand of hair. Why are we down there? What are we looking at? What are we looking for? So I'll go through the other 2. Transitions and paradox. Yield, zero, wax, tempest. These words suggest thresholds between life and death, chaos and calm, seen and unseen, accurate. And number 6, language and perception. Euphemism, Pulitzer, duplicitous. You think about how things are said, not just what is being said. Language as a veil, a weapon, or a structure. I like the one about language as a veil. Like, you think of being in a workplace and you hear, we're going in a different direction. That usually means you are the one that's leaving, right? So again, just that duplicitous nature of words and their meanings. So I say all that to say, try it out. Well, let me know in the comments, or, you know, via message what you discover or what you came up with or how accurate it was. And sidebar, I also did an A to Z list of just names, which I'll do a shorter video about later. But that was all for today.